Victoria Chan's hand shot out, grabbed her sister's wrist, stopped it mid-air. Don't drink that. Patricia Morrison stood frozen across the kitchen, the spoon in her hand, 3 crushed sleeping pills still visible in the powder. I watched you put them in, Victoria said. Her voice was ice. I watched you crush them. I watched you stir them into my coffee, and I recorded all of it. Wait, you're confused. I get it. Let me back up. Let me tell you how I ended up here. How I ended up standing in my sister's kitchen pretending to be her, about to bring down an entire family of abusers. But before I do, if this story hits you in the gut, if you know someone who needs to hear this, hit that like button right now. Subscribe to this channel so you never miss stories like this. And comment below. Tell me what city you're watching from. I need to know how far this message reaches, because what happened in those 72 hours is happening in homes across this country right now, and somebody needs to talk about it. Okay, now let me take you back to where this really started. 3 days ago, Tuesday afternoon. Victoria was sitting at her desk, case files spread out in front of her. Domestic violence trial. She'd been a prosecutor for 32 years, seen everything, or so she thought. Her phone buzzed. Her secretary. Miss Chan, your sister's here. Victoria looked up. Send her in. Victoria, she doesn't look good. Her heart dropped. Just dropped. Send her in. Hold on my calls. The door opened. A woman stood there. Sunglasses. Indoors. Turtleneck. Long sleeves. 90 degrees outside. Limping. Valerie? Victoria stood up. Her prosecutor brain kicked in. Something was wrong. Very wrong. What happened? Val, what happened? Valerie didn't answer. Just stood there. Shaking. Take off the sunglasses. Victoria, please. Take them off. Right now. Valerie's hands went up. Slow. Trembling. Pulled the sunglasses off. Victoria's world stopped. Her sister's left eye, swollen shut. Purple-black. Like a rotting plum. Her lips split open. Dried blood crusted at the corner. A gash on her cheekbone that should have had stitches. And her neck. Oh God, her neck. Bruises. Finger-shaped. 4 on one side, 1 on the other. Someone had choked her. Someone had put their hand around her throat and squeezed. Who did this? Victoria's voice came out quiet. Deadly quiet. The voice she used right before she destroyed someone in court. Derek. Valerie's voice cracked. Derek did this. Derek Morrison, Valerie's husband. 15 years married. Roll up your sleeves. Victoria, roll. Them. Up. Valerie's hand shook. She pushed up one sleeve, then the other. Victoria thought she'd seen everything in 32 years. She was wrong. Bruises on top of bruises. Yellow ones fading. Purple ones fresh. Belt marks across her forearms. Defensive wounds. Where she tried to block punches. Cigarette burns. Round. Perfect circles. Dotting her skin and her wrists. Rope burns. Raw. Red. He tied her up. That son of a bitch had tied up her sister. Victoria's hands started shaking. She gripped the edge of her desk. Gripped it hard. How long? 12 years. The words came out so quiet Victoria almost didn't hear them. It started 6 months after we got married. 12 years. 12 years of this hell. And Victoria hadn't known. Hadn't seen it. Hadn't been there. Sit down, Victoria said. Tell me everything. From the beginning. Every detail. Valerie sat. Started talking. It started small. He wanted to know where I was all the time. Who I was talking to. He said it was because he loved me. Because he couldn't stand the thought of anything happening to me. Then it was my clothes. Too tight. Too revealing. Making me look like I wanted attention from other men. So I started dressing different. Then my friends. He didn't like them. Said they were bad influences. Said they were trying to break us up. So I stopped seeing them. Then you. Victoria's head snapped up. Me? He said you made me feel bad about my life. That you were always showing off your success. Making me feel small. That wasn't true. That was never true. So I stopped calling. Stopped visiting. He isolated me completely, and I let him. Because I was too tired to fight. Valerie's voice got quieter. Smaller. The first time he hit me, it was over garbage bins. I forgot to put them out. He came home drunk, saw them by the garage, and he just snapped. He grabbed my hair, dragged me outside, slammed my face into the garbage bin, told me if I was going to act like trash, I could be with the trash. I was in shock. I couldn't believe it happened. He apologized the next morning, brought flowers, cried, swore it would never happen again. And I believed him. Victoria's jaw clenched. Her hands were fists now. But it did happen again and again. Every time he lost money gambling, and he gambles constantly, Victoria. Thousands of dollars. Tens of thousands. He comes home and takes it out on me. His mother moved in 5 years ago. Patricia. And it got worse. So much worse. She doesn't just let him do it. She helps. She holds me down sometimes. She hits me too. And his sister Brittany moved in 3 years ago. She treats me like a servant. And if I ever say no, she runs to Derek. And Derek makes me pay. Valerie was crying now. Tears running down her bruised face. But the worst part? The part I can't. Victoria, he hit Emma. Victoria's blood went cold. Emma, her niece, 20 years old, in college. Last week, she came home for the weekend. She saw him choking me. She tried to stop him, and he hit her so hard she fell down the stairs. And I tried to protect her. I threw myself between them, and he grabbed my throat, choked me until I passed out. Patricia and Brittany held me down, shoved rags in my mouth so I couldn't scream. I thought I was going to die. I really thought that was it. Victoria stood up, walked around her desk, knelt down in front of her sister. Listen to me. Listen very carefully. You're not going back there. I have to. He'll come looking. You're not going back. You're going to stay at my apartment where it's safe. Victoria, you don't understand? Give me 3 days, just 3 days. Valerie looked confused. What? We're switching places, you and me. What? No. Victoria, no. We're identical. No one can tell us apart. Remember when we used to switch places in school? When we fooled our teachers? This is different. You're going to stay at my apartment, and I'm going to walk into that house as you. And in 72 hours, he's going to wish he'd never touched you. Victoria, he'll hurt you. He's dangerous. Victoria smiled. It wasn't a nice smile. Let him try. Here's where things get crazy. Victoria spent the rest of Tuesday studying her sister. Every mannerism, every gesture. The way Valerie hunched her shoulders. The way she apologized for everything. The way her voice got small when she was scared. She had to become Valerie. Completely. Wednesday evening, 6 o'clock. Victoria stood outside the house in Walnut Creek. Valerie's keys in her hand. Her phone buzzed. Text from Valerie. Are you sure about this? Victoria texted back. Trust me. She unlocked the door, stepped inside. The house hit her like a wall. Something was wrong here. Everything was wrong. Valerie? Is that you? Patricia's voice. Sharp, demanding, coming from the kitchen. Victoria took a breath, made herself smaller, hunched her shoulders, walked into the kitchen. Patricia sat at the table. Glass of wine, magazine, like she owned the place. Where have you been all day? Derek comes home at 6. Dinner isn't even started. I'm sorry, Victoria said, used Valerie's soft voice. I'll start it now. You better, and make something good this time. Last night's chicken was like eating cardboard. Victoria opened the refrigerator, started pulling out ingredients. Her prosecutor brain was already working, cataloging, building evidence. Oh good, you're home. Victoria turned. A woman flopped onto the couch. Brittany, Derek's sister. Overweight, bad bleach job, permanent sneer. Bring me a Diet Coke and some chips. I'm starving. Victoria brought the soda, handed it to her, memorized her face, every detail. You have no idea what's coming for you, Victoria thought. Footsteps on the stairs. Emma appeared, moving like a ghost, trying not to be seen. The bruise on her cheek was still there. Fresh. Purple. Mom, Emma whispered. Victoria's heart broke, just broke. But she opened her arms. Emma came to her. Victoria held her niece tight, made a silent promise. This ends tonight, 6 o'clock. The garage door opened. Derek Morrison came home. Victoria smelled the bourbon before she saw him. Valerie, where's my dinner? He walked in, 6'3", 220, expensive suit, good hair, perfect teeth, a wolf in nice clothing. "It's ready?" Victoria said, kept her voice quiet. Set his plate down. Steak, mashed potatoes, green beans. She'd underseasoned everything. Just enough. Derek sat down. Didn't thank her. Didn't look at Emma. Just picked up his fork, cut into the steak, took a bite. His face changed. "What the hell is this?" He spit the food back onto his plate. "This tastes like nothing. Can't you do anything right?" "I've been telling you, Derek." Patricia jumped in. "She can't cook, can't clean. I don't know what you see in her." "Girl can't do nothing," Brittany laughed. Derek stood up, walked toward Victoria. His body language screamed predator. He raised his hand, ready to slap her. This was it. This was the moment. Victoria's hand shot up, caught his wrist midair. The shock on Derek's face was beautiful. He was used to Valerie cowering, apologizing, begging. Victoria squeezed, hard, harder. "Not tonight, Derek." Her voice was still soft, but different. "I've had a long day, too." He tried to pull free, couldn't. His face went red. Embarrassment, anger. He used his other hand, tried to pry her fingers off. Victoria held on. 3 seconds, 4, 5, then released him. Derek stumbled back, cradling his wrist, staring at her like she turned into someone else, because she had. "Valerie!" Patricia gasped. "How dare you?" "Dinner's getting cold," Victoria said, calm. "Y'all should eat." She turned, walked away, left them standing there, confused, angry. But you're not going to believe what happened next. Victoria went upstairs, found Emma's room. The girl was sitting on her bed, eyes huge. "Mom, what just happened?" Victoria closed the door, locked it, sat down beside her. "Emma, I need to tell you something, and you need to keep it secret. Can you do that?" "What?" "I'm not your mom. I'm your Aunt Victoria." Emma's mouth dropped open. "Your mom's safe at my apartment. We switched places. And I'm going to make sure your dad never hurts either of you again." "Oh my God." Emma started crying. "I thought I was going crazy. Mom never fights back. Never." "I know, sweetheart. But that's done now." Victoria pulled out her phone, started recording. "Tell me everything you've seen. Everything he's done. I need it all." Emma talked for an hour. Every beating. Every time Derek choked Valerie. Every time Patricia and Brittany helped. Every time Emma hid in her room and listened to her mother scream. More evidence. Always building the case. Around 11, Victoria heard footsteps. 2 sets. Outside the door. Patricia and Brittany. Coming to put Valerie back in her place. Victoria stepped into the hallway, closed Emma's door behind her. The 2 women stood there, arms crossed, faces hard. "We need to talk," Patricia said. "About what?" "About your attitude, about what you did downstairs." "You think you can embarrass Derek like that?" Brittany added. "In his own house," Patricia said. "The house that's in my name," Victoria said. Quiet. "Let's not forget that." Patricia's face went red. "That house was bought with my son's money." "Actually," Victoria let her prosecutor voice come through now. "The down payment came from Valerie's parents. $200,000. Gift, before the marriage. The deeds in her name alone. Legally, this is her house. You and your daughter are guests. Guests who don't pay rent. Don't contribute. Don't help." Both women looked shocked. Valerie never talked like this. Never knew these things. "I don't know what's gotten into you," Patricia said. Stepped closer. "But this stops. Now." Brittany moved to Victoria's other side, flanking her. "Yeah, somebody needs to teach you some respect." Brittany shoved Victoria. Not hard. Testing. Victoria didn't move, didn't rock back, just stood there, solid. "Don't touch me again." "Or what?" Brittany shoved harder. Victoria still didn't move. "Let me explain something." Her voice went cold, ice cold. "I got pictures, medical records, 12 years worth. Every time he hit her, every time you watched, every single time." Patricia opened her mouth. "You held her down while he choked her. That makes you just as guilty. Accessory to felony assault. In California, that's 5 to 10 years. Both women went pale. "So here's what's going to happen. You're going to go back to your rooms. You're not going to touch me. You're not going to threaten me. And tomorrow, we're all going to have a serious talk about the future. Are we clear?" "You can't prove any of that," Patricia stammered. Victoria smiled. I'm a prosecutor, Patricia. I've put away murderers with less evidence than I got against his family. She turned, walked back into Emma's room, closed the door, left them in the hallway, stunned. That was round one. Thursday morning, 5:30. Victoria woke up. Old habits. 32 years of early court appearances. She moved through the house. Quiet, checking the hidden cameras she'd installed yesterday. Camera 1, living room working. Camera 2, kitchen, working. Camera 3, master bedroom working. 7 cameras total, all uploading to the cloud. Derek would never find them. She made breakfast, pancakes, bacon, fresh fruit. Emma came downstairs. I can't believe you're really doing this. Your mom survived 12 years, protected you as best she could. Now it's my turn. Patricia came in around 7, poured coffee, didn't speak, retreated to her room. Brittany didn't come out at all. They were scared. Good. 8 o'clock. Derek woke up, groaning, hungover. Stumbled into the kitchen. Victoria had his coffee ready. Black. No sugar. He drank half, then looked at her. We need to talk. Bedroom, now. Victoria followed him upstairs, phone in her pocket, recording. He closed the door, turned on her, grabbed her arm, that same grip that left bruises on Valerie for years. Fingers digging in, hard. I don't know what's gotten into you, he said. Face inches from hers. But it stops. Today. Right now. You're my wife. You do what I say. You show me respect. You're hurting me. Derek. Good. He squeezed harder. Maybe you'll remember this. Maybe you'll think twice. Victoria didn't fight. Didn't resist. Just let him grip her. Let him create fresh bruises on top of Valerie's old ones. Because every second was being recorded. HD video. Clear audio. Evidence. You think you can just change? His voice rose. Think you can grow a spine? You're nothing without me. Nothing. You were nothing when I met you. Nobody teacher making pennies. I gave you everything. And this is how you repay me? Is that what you tell yourself? His hand came up. Fist, ready to punch. This is where everything changed. Victoria moved. Fast. Shifted her weight. Deflected his arm. Used his momentum. One quick sweep. Move she learned in self-defense class. Derek Morrison crashed to the floor. Hard. Wind knocked out of him. Victoria stood over him. Don't ever try that again. Walked out. Left him on the ground. That was the moment Derek knew he couldn't control her physically. So he did what abusers do. What they always do. He called the cops. Hour later, 2 officers at the door. One older, veteran, one young rookie. Derek was putting on a show, short sleeves, showing a bruise on his arm, scraped elbow, voice shaking. Officers, my wife attacked me, completely unprovoked. I'm afraid she's becoming violent. I'm afraid for my safety. The rookie pulled out his notepad, buying every word. But the older cop, Officer Rodriguez, he was looking at Victoria. Really looking. He'd been doing this 30 plus years. He knew. Ma'am, can we talk? Separately? Of course. Kitchen. Door closed. Victoria pulled out a folder from her bag. Officer Rodriguez. My husband called you because I defended myself when he tried to hit me. Before you take his statement, I need to show you something. She opened it. Medical records. 12 years. ER visits for accidental injuries. Photos of bruises, cuts, black eyes, broken ribs, fractured wrist, cigarette burns. Officer Rodriguez's face changed. Ma'am, how long's this been going on? 12 years. He beats me, chokes me, threatens to kill me if I leave. His mother and sister help him. This morning, I finally stood up, pushed him away to stop him from punching me. That's when he called you. Victoria pulled out her phone, showed him the video from this morning. Derek grabbing her arm, threatening, pulling back to punch. HD, clear as day. The rookie looked sick. Officer Rodriguez looked angry. He walked back to the living room. Derek waiting with Patricia and Brittany. Mr. Morrison, based on what I just saw, you're lucky we're not arresting you right now. Derek went white. What? She's lying. She attacked me. Sir, I've been doing this job 32 years. I know what domestic violence looks like. And I'm looking at it. He turned to Victoria. Ma'am, you want to press charges? Victoria shook her head. Not yet. I just want him to know someone's watching. That if he touches me again, there's consequences. I need you to file a report. Document this. Absolutely. Officer Rodriguez said, turned to Derek, voice like steel. Sir, we're filing a report. We're watching this address. If we get called back, if anything happens to your wife, you will be arrested. Understand? Derek nodded. Couldn't speak. The cops left. Derek realized he couldn't use the law. Couldn't use force. Running out of options. But his family wasn't done. That evening, Brittany made her move. She called her boyfriend, Marcus, 6'4", 250, all muscle, bouncer at some Oakland club. The plan was obvious. Marcus intimidates Valerie. Maybe roughs her up, reminds her of her place. Brittany left them alone. Living room. Marcus walked up. That swagger. Man who'd never been challenged by a woman. So, I hear you've been giving my girl's family problems. Have I? Yeah. And I don't like when women disrespect good men. Derek's a good dude. Takes care of his family. You out here causing drama. That ain't right. He reached for her. You won't believe what happened next. Victoria moved. One sidestep. Grabbed his arm. Used his momentum. Her hip as fulcrum. Basic judo throw. Marcus went flying. All 250 of him. Crashed through the coffee table. Wood shattered. Glass exploded. He looked up from the floor. Shock. Pain. That's assault, Victoria said. Calm. On camera. Multiple cameras. Hidden throughout this house. Recording everything. You want to try again? Go ahead. I'll have you arrested for home invasion and assault. 5 to 7 years. Marcus scrambled up. Ran out like his pants were on fire. Brittany screamed. You're crazy. You're a demon. Victoria smiled. You should start looking for a new place to live. Derek and Patricia saw everything, and Victoria could see it. Fear. Real fear. This wasn't Valerie. This was someone else. And they had no idea what to do. But what they were planning for Friday morning, that crossed every line. That night, Victoria lay in bed, not sleeping, listening. The hidden cameras picked up everything. Patricia's room, all 3 of them, whispering, we can't let this continue. Patricia's voice, panicked. She's destroying our family. What do we do? Derek, fear in his voice. We can't touch her. Can't call cops. She's got evidence. We need to get rid of her, Brittany said. Silence. Not like that, Patricia said quick, but we remove her from the picture. How? Sleeping pills. We crush them. Put them in her coffee tomorrow morning. Once she's out, we call mental health services. Tell them she had a breakdown, became violent, unstable, danger to herself and others. They take her away, psych ward, 72-hour hold minimum. And while she's gone, Derek, you file for divorce, sole custody of Emma. You tell the judge she's mentally unstable. Show them the police report from today. By the time she gets out, it's too late. Papers filed. Emma's with us. Valerie has nothing. Victoria's blood went cold, not because she was scared, but because they were planning to drug her, institutionalize her, take Emma from Valerie. These people had no limits? Fine. Neither did she. Friday morning, day 3, Victoria watched Patricia in the kitchen, watched her pull out a pill bottle, Ambien, Derek's prescription, watched her crush 3 pills, back of a spoon, into powder, watched her stir them into Victoria's coffee cup, watched her put on a fake smile. Here, sweetie. Voice dripping concern. You look so tired. This'll help. Victoria took the cup, brought it to her lips, pretended to drink. Then, when no one was looking, poured it into a plant by the window. She sat on the couch, pretended to get drowsy, let her head nod forward, closed her eyes, slowed her breathing. It's working, Brittany whispered across the room. Call 911, Derek said. Wait. Patricia, make sure she's really out. Victoria kept her breathing steady, slow, deep. Patricia walked over, shook her shoulder, hard. Valerie, can you hear me? No response. Victoria stayed limp. She's out, Patricia said, triumphant. Call them, now. This is where they made their biggest mistake. Victoria opened her eyes, sat up. All 3 of them jumped back, like she'd come back from the dead. I didn't drink it, Victoria said. calm, cold. I watched you crush the pills, Patricia. Watched you stir them in. And I recorded all of it. Attempted poisoning. Class B felony. California. 25 years minimum. Patricia's face. Triumph to terror. 1 second. I also recorded your planning session last night. Conspiracy to commit forcible medical detention. Filing false reports. Conspiracy to commit fraud. You want me to keep going? Because I can. I've been a prosecutor 32 years. I know exactly what crimes you committed. All three stood frozen. Walls closing in. Here's what happens now, Victoria said. She walked to her bag, pulled out a folder. Thick, organized. We're going to have a conversation about the future. All of you sit down at that table and listen very carefully. They sat. No choice left. Victoria opened the folder, spread contents across the table. Medical reports, photographs, videos on DVDs, audio recordings on USB drives, bank statements showing Derek's gambling debts, over $200,000 in 5 years, documentation, every crime, every assault, every threat. 12 years. This is what I built, Victoria said. 12 years of documentation, your crimes. And yesterday and today I added more. Video of Derek assaulting me, video of you, Patricia, attempting to poison me, audio of all three conspiring to institutionalize me. Derek's hands shook. Who? Voice cracked. Who are you? This was the moment, the big reveal. Victoria smiled. I'm Valerie's twin sister, Victoria Chen, prosecutor, Alameda County District Attorney's Office. And I spent the last 3 days documenting every single crime you committed against my sister? Color drained from their faces. You tricked us, Brittany whispered. I did. And every bit of evidence I collected, admissible in court, every recording was made in a home that belongs to Valerie, every video captured on her property. It's all legal. Patricia started crying. Real tears. You can't do this. You can't destroy our family. Your family? Victoria laughed. No humor. You destroyed your own family when you tortured a woman for 12 years. When you beat her, choked her, burned her with cigarettes. When you hit a 20-year-old college student for trying to protect her mother. She pulled out more documents. Divorce papers, filled out, just missing Derek's signature. Here's how this goes, Victoria said. You got 2 choices, just 2. Choice number 1, Victoria said. Her voice was steady, cold. I take all this evidence to the DA's office Monday morning. I file criminal charges, domestic violence, assault, battery, attempted poisoning, conspiracy, child abuse. She let that sink in, watched their faces. Between the 3 of you, you're looking at 40 to 60 years combined, state prison. Derek's face went gray. Patricia was crying harder now. Brittany looked like she might throw up. Or, Victoria continued, choice number 2. She pulled out the divorce papers, slid them across the table. You sign these, right now. Full custody of Emma to Valerie. 0 visitation for Derek. Child support, $2,000 a month until Emma graduates college. That's 3 more years. $72,000 total. The house stays with Valerie. It's in her name anyway. Derek, you and your mother and sister have 48 hours to move out. And I file restraining orders for all 3 of you. 500 feet minimum. We don't have that kind of money, Derek said. His voice was shaking. Victoria smiled. Yeah, you do. She pulled out bank statements. You got about $30,000 left in your 401k. After all that gambling. Derek's eyes went wide. Your mother has a settlement from your father's workplace death. $850,000. Hidden in a lockbox. In the garage. Behind the Christmas decorations. Patricia gasped. Actually, gasped. How did you... I'm thorough. But here's what they didn't know yet. What was about to make everything worse for them. You'll liquidate assets. Take out loans if you have to. I don't care how you get it. But you will get it. Because the alternative is prison. And trust me, San Quentin is way worse than being broke. Derek just sat there, staring at the papers, at his life falling apart. You have until 5 o'clock today to decide, Victoria said. If you choose option 2, Derek signs and we go to the bank together. Set up the payment schedule. If you choose option 1 or if you don't choose at all, I make 1 phone call. You're all in handcuffs by dinner. She gathered up her evidence, put it back in her bag. I'm going to pick up Emma from class now. When I get back, I want your answer. Victoria walked out, left them sitting at that table. 3 people who'd spent years terrorizing others, now completely powerless. She got in Valerie's car, drove to UC Davis. The whole way, her phone was recording, just in case Derek tried something stupid. Emma was waiting outside the biology building, backpack over one shoulder. When she saw Victoria, she ran. Aunt Victoria? It's done, sweetheart. It's done. Emma started crying, right there on the sidewalk. Really? It's really over? Almost. Come on, your mom's waiting. They drove to Victoria's apartment in Sacramento. 45 minutes. Emma asked questions the whole way. What did you do? What happened? Is he going to prison? That's up to him, Victoria said. But either way, he's never touching you or your mother again. They pulled up to the apartment. 3rd floor. Victoria unlocked the door. Valerie was standing in the kitchen, making tea. When she saw Emma, the cup dropped, shattered on the floor. Baby! Emma ran to her mother, and the 2 of them just held each other, crying, both of them crying. Victoria stood there watching, her throat tight. This was why she'd done it. Mom, Emma whispered. Aunt Victoria, she destroyed them. Valerie looked up at Victoria, tears streaming down her face. What did you do? What needed to be done? Victoria's phone rang. Derek. She put it on speaker. We'll sign. His voice was hollow, dead. We'll do whatever you want. Just don't send us to prison. I'll be there in 30 minutes, Victoria said. Hung up. She looked at Valerie. You ready for this? You need to be there. He needs to see both of us. He needs to understand what happened. Valerie took a shaky breath. I'm ready. Emma, you coming? Hell yes, Emma said. They drove back to Walnut Creek, all 3 of them, Victoria and Valerie in the front, Emma in the back. I can't believe we're doing this, Valerie whispered. I can't believe it's really happening. Believe it, Victoria said. They pulled up to the house. Victoria got out first, then Valerie, then Emma. Victoria unlocked the door. They walked in together, and the looks on Derek, Patricia, and Brittany's faces when they saw both sisters, when they realized there were 2 of them, that was everything. What the... Derek stood up, stumbled back. How? Hello, Derek, Valerie said. Her voice was stronger now, not the broken whisper from 3 days ago. Surprise. Patricia's mouth opened and closed, no sound coming out. Brittany looked like she was seeing ghosts. You had us fooled this whole time? Derek's voice was rising, anger mixing with disbelief. That wasn't even you. No, Victoria said. Every time you grabbed me, every time you tried to hit me, every time you thought you were controlling Valerie, that was me. And I recorded all of it. Derek turned to Valerie. You let her do this? You let her trick us? She saved me, Valerie said. And now there were tears in her eyes, but they weren't sad tears. She did what I couldn't do. She fought back. And now you're going to give me my life back. Here's where Derek made one last desperate play. I'm not signing anything, he said. You can't make me. This is entrapment. It won't hold up in court. It's not entrapment, Victoria said. Her voice was ice. Entrapment is when law enforcement induces someone to commit a crime they wouldn't otherwise commit. I'm not law enforcement in this context. I'm a private citizen in my sister's home, with her permission. Everything I did was legal. Everything I recorded is admissible. Want me to call my colleagues at the DA's office right now? Let them explain it to you? She pulled out her phone, started to dial. Wait, Patricia said, desperate. Wait, please. Derek, just sign it. Just sign the papers. Mom, sign them. I'm not going to prison. I'm not spending my last years in San Quentin because you can't control your temper. That hit him. His own mother turning on him. Brittany was already crying. I can't go to prison. I can't. Marcus, please. It's Derek, Victoria said, and he's going to sign because he's finally realizing he has no other choice. Derek looked at the divorce papers, at his mother, at his sister, at Valerie standing there with Victoria and Emma. His whole world was crumbling. Where am I supposed to get $72,000? He asked. His voice was small now, defeated. That's your problem, Victoria said. You got 48 hours to figure it out. I'll lose everything. You should have thought about that before you put your hands on my sister. And here's what broke him. What finally made him pick up the pen. Emma spoke up. You hit me? Dad. Her voice was shaking, but strong. I tried to help Mom, and you hit me so hard I fell down the stairs. I had a concussion. Did you even care? Derek looked at his daughter, really looked at her, saw the bruise still on her cheek. Emma, Don't, Emma said. Don't you dare apologize now. Don't you dare say you're sorry. You're not sorry. You're just sorry you got caught. That did it. That was the moment Derek's last bit of fight died. He picked up the pen. His hand was shaking so bad he could barely hold it. Sign every page, Victoria said. Every line, every initial. He signed. Page after page after page, his hand shaking the whole time. Patricia was next. Agreement to vacate the premises. Surrender any claim to the house. Stay away from Valerie and Emma. She signed, tears dripping onto the paper. Brittany signed without a word, just wanted it over. When all the papers were signed, Victoria gathered them up, put them in her bag. Legal, binding, enforceable. You have until Sunday at 5 p.m. to be out, Victoria said. Take your belongings. Nothing that belongs to Valerie or Emma. I'll be here with a sheriff's deputy to supervise. If you're not out by then, you're removed by force and charged with trespassing. Derek stood up. He was tall. For a moment, Victoria thought he might try something. One last act of violence. She was ready, hoping for it even. But he just stood there, broken. Who are you? He asked, voice barely a whisper. What kind of person does this? Victoria stepped closer, looked him right in the eye. The kind who loves her sister. The kind who protects her family. The kind who doesn't let monsters win. She took Valerie's hand, Emma's hand. Come on, let's go home. They walked out together, leaving Derek and his family behind, leaving 12 years of hell behind, walking toward freedom. In the car, Valerie started laughing, just laughing. Couldn't stop. What's so funny? Emma asked. I'm free, Valerie said. I'm actually free. After 12 years, I'm finally free. Victoria drove them back to her apartment. They ordered pizza, sat on the couch, talked for hours. What happens now? Valerie asked. Now we make sure they actually leave, Victoria said, and we start building your new life. Sunday came fast. 5 o'clock. Victoria pulled up to the house with a sheriff's deputy. Officer Rodriguez, actually. He'd volunteered when he heard what was happening. The house was empty. They'd taken their stuff and left, probably to Patricia's sister's place in Fresno. Good. The farther the better. You did good, Officer Rodriguez said. I've been doing this job 32 years. Seen a lot of women try to leave. Most don't make it out. You made sure your sister did. Thank you, Victoria said. She walked through the house, making sure they'd really taken everything, making sure it was clean. Then she called a locksmith, changed every lock, every door, every window, called a security company, installed a proper system, cameras, visible ones this time, motion sensors, panic buttons in every room, made sure Valerie and Emma would be safe. That night, Valerie and Emma moved back in. Their house, their home, not Derek's prison anymore. Victoria helped them clean, scrub every surface, like they were washing away 12 years of abuse. I can't believe it's really over, Valerie kept saying. I keep thinking he's going to come back, that he's going to find a way. He won't, Victoria said. The restraining order's active, 500 feet. If he comes near you, he goes to jail, and he knows it. Plus, I got friends at the DA's office watching this case. If he violates even once, they'll throw the book at him. Emma was painting her room, bright yellow, sunshine yellow. No more hiding, she said. No more being quiet. No more being scared. Over the next few weeks, Victoria watched her sister transform. Valerie started smiling. Real smiles. Not the fake ones she'd worn for 12 years. She laughed. She sang while cooking. She planted flowers in the garden. She went back to teaching. And this time, she actually enjoyed it. My students keep asking what happened, Valerie told Victoria one day. They say I seem different, happier. What do you tell them? That I finally found myself again. Emma changed too. The fear left her eyes. She stopped flinching at loud noises. She brought friends home from college. She played music too loud. She lived. You know what's funny? Emma said one afternoon. They were all having lunch together. Victoria, Valerie, Emma. I don't miss him, not even a little bit. I thought I would. He's my dad, but I don't miss him at all. That's not funny, Victoria said. That's healthy. Derek tried to fight the custody arrangement. Of course he did. Men like him always do. But Victoria represented Valerie in family court, brought every piece of evidence she'd collected, the medical records, the photographs, the videos of Derek assaulting Valerie, really Victoria. The judge took one look, terminated Derek's parental rights on the spot. No contact, no visitation, nothing. Mr. Morrison, the judge said, you are a danger to your daughter. This court finds clear and convincing evidence of abuse. Your parental rights are hereby terminated. Derek just sat there, couldn't even speak. The child support payments started coming through monthly, $2,000, like clockwork. Derek had to sell his car, cash out his 401k, take out loans. Patricia had to liquidate her settlement. Brittany moved back with her ex-husband. The three of them scattered, broken, no longer a united force. You know what I realized? Valerie said one day. 6 months later, they were having coffee, just the two of them. What? I'm stronger than I ever thought I was. I survived 12 years of hell. I kept Emma safe as best I could. I protected her, even when it meant taking worse beatings. And now, I get to show her what strength really looks like. Not the kind that uses fists, the kind that survives, the kind that rebuilds. Victoria's throat got tight. Yeah, you do. Thank you, Valerie whispered. Thank you for saving me, for saving us. You would have done the same for me. I don't know if I would have been brave enough. Yes, you would. You were brave for 12 years. Every day you survived, that was brave. Every time you protected Emma, that was brave. I just gave you a way out. Valerie met someone new about 8 months later. Another teacher, Michael. He taught history. Victoria vetted him, thoroughly. Background check. Talked to his ex-wife, his colleagues, his neighbors. He was clean. He was good. You can relax. Valerie laughed when Victoria showed up with a 50-page report on Michael. He's not Derek. I know, but I had to make sure. They took it slow, very slow. Valerie wasn't ready to rush into anything, but watching her open herself up to trust again, to love again, to believe that not all men were monsters. That was the real victory, not the divorce papers, not the restraining orders, not Derek's broken life. The real victory was seeing Valerie remember who she was, before he tried to destroy her. You know what Emma told me yesterday? Valerie said one day. They were at the park, watching kids play. What? She said thank you for showing her that women don't have to be victims, that we can fight back, that we can win. Victoria's eyes got wet. Damn it. She said she wants to be a prosecutor now, like you. She wants to help other people like you helped us. She'd be good at it, Victoria said. Her voice was rough. She's got the heart for it, the fire. She gets that from you. No, she gets that from her mother, from a woman who survived 12 years of hell and came out the other side still able to love, still able to trust, still able to hope. That's not survival. That's a damn miracle. Valerie smiled, took Victoria's hand, squeezed it. We're going to be okay, she said. For the first time in 12 years, I actually believe that. We're going to be okay. And they were. But Victoria was wrong about one thing. Derek wasn't done. 3 months after the divorce finalized, Valerie's phone rang. Unknown number. She almost didn't answer, but something made her pick up. Hello? Breathing. Heavy breathing. I know where you work, Derek's voice came through, slurred, drunk. I know what time you get off. I know. Valerie hung up. Her hands were shaking. Called Victoria immediately. He just called me. He threatened me. What did he say? Valerie repeated it, word for word. That's a restraining order violation, Victoria said. Her voice went cold. Prosecutor mode. That's jail time. Forward me the number. I'm calling the police right now. Victoria, I'm scared. What if he won't? I promise you, he won't. But Victoria's stomach was tight because she knew. Abusers don't just give up. They escalate. She called Officer Rodriguez. He put a patrol car outside Valerie's school, another one outside the house. We're watching, he told Victoria. If Derek comes within 500 feet, we'll know. 2 days later, Emma called. Her voice was panicked. Aunt Victoria, someone's following me. Black truck. Been behind me for the last 10 minutes. Where are you? Driving home from campus. I'm on I-80. Stay on the freeway. Don't go home. Drive to the nearest police station. I'm calling them right now. Victoria dialed 911, gave them Emma's location, her license plate. There's a black truck following my niece. She has a restraining order against her father. I need units there now. Emma's voice came through again, shaking. He's getting closer. He's right behind me. Aunt Victoria, I'm scared. Keep driving. Police are coming. Stay on the line with me. Victoria heard sirens through the phone, heard Emma gasp. They're here. They're pulling him over. Oh my God, it's him. It's Dad. Emma, listen to me. Are you safe? Are the police there? Yes. Yes. They're talking to him. He looks so angry. Turns out it wasn't just a violation. Derek had a gun in the truck, loaded, in the passenger seat. He was going to kill her, Officer Rodriguez told Victoria later. We found texts on his phone, plans. He was going to run her off the road, make it look like an accident. Victoria's blood went ice cold. Where's he now? County jail, held without bail, stalking, violation of restraining order, possession of firearm with intent. He's looking at 10 years minimum. Make it 20, Victoria said. That night, Victoria sat with Valerie and Emma, all three of them in Valerie's living room. I thought it was over, Valerie whispered. I thought we were safe. We are, Victoria said, but her voice wasn't as sure as she wanted it to be. He tried to kill me, Emma said. She was staring at her hands. My own father tried to kill me. No, Victoria said, firm. Derek Morrison tried to kill you. He stopped being your father the moment he raised his hand to you, the moment he raised his hand to your mother. Biology doesn't make you family. Love does. Protection does. He had neither. Emma started crying. I keep thinking, what if the police hadn't gotten there in time? What if... But they did, Valerie said, pulled her daughter close. They did, and he's locked up now. He can't hurt us anymore. Victoria's phone rang. Unknown number. She answered. Victoria Chin. You think you won. Patricia's voice. Bitter. Angry. You think you destroyed our family and got away with it? I didn't destroy your family. You did that yourselves. My son is in jail because of you, because of your lies, your tricks. Your son is in jail because he tried to kill his daughter, because he violated a restraining order, because he spent 12 years beating his wife. I should have known, Patricia said. Her voice was shaking now. Rage. Pure rage. I should have known it wasn't Valerie. She was never that strong, never that smart. You're right. She was stronger. She survived 12 years of you. This isn't over, Patricia hissed. You hear me? This isn't over. The line went dead. Victoria looked at Valerie. We need to increase security. Now. They installed more cameras, motion-activated lights, changed the alarm code, told the neighbors to call police if they saw anyone suspicious. I feel like I'm in prison, Valerie said. Like even though Derek's locked up, I'm the one who's trapped. It's temporary, Victoria said, until the trial. Until he's sentenced. Then you can breathe again. But here's what Victoria didn't know, what none of them knew. Patricia had hired someone, a private investigator, to dig up dirt on Victoria, find something, anything, to discredit her, to get Derek's case thrown out. 2 weeks later, Victoria got a call from her boss, the district attorney. My office. Now. Victoria drove to Sacramento, her stomach in knots. Something was wrong. She walked into the DA's office. He was sitting at his desk, face grim. Sit down. What's going on? Someone filed a complaint against you, alleging prosecutorial misconduct? Victoria's heart stopped. What? They're saying you entrapped Derek Morrison, that you impersonated your sister without proper authorization, that you acted as law enforcement without jurisdiction. That's insane. I wasn't acting as law enforcement. I was a private citizen in my sister's home. I know, but they've got a lawyer, a good one, and they're making noise about filing a lawsuit, claiming all your evidence is tainted. It's not tainted. Everything I did was legal. I believe you, the DA said. But this creates a problem. If there's any question about how that evidence was obtained, it could jeopardize the case against Derek Morrison. Victoria felt sick. So what are you saying? I'm saying you need to lawyer up, and we need to be very careful about how we proceed with this prosecution. She drove back to Valerie's house, walked in. Valerie took one look at her face. What happened? Victoria told her everything. The complaint, the allegations, the possibility that Derek could walk free. No, Valerie said. No. He tried to kill Emma. He can't just walk away. He won't, Victoria said, but her voice was shaking now. I won't let that happen. How? How are you going to stop it? Victoria didn't have an answer. That night, she couldn't sleep. She kept playing it over in her mind. Every decision, every move. Had she crossed a line? Had she jeopardized the case? Her phone buzzed. Text from an unknown number. You should have stayed out of it. Now you're going to lose everything. Then a photo. Victoria's law office. Her home address underneath. We know where you live. She called the police. Filed a report. But the number was a burner. Untraceable. This is escalating, Officer Rodriguez said. They're not just going after your sister anymore. They're going after you. Let them, Victoria said. Her jaw was set. I'm not backing down. But the next morning, she found out just how far they were willing to go. Someone had filed a complaint with the California State Bar, alleging ethical violations, claiming Victoria had used her position as a prosecutor to personally harass and entrap a citizen. If they find merit in this complaint, Victoria's lawyer told her, you could be disbarred. You could lose your license to practice law. Everything Victoria had worked for. 32 years as a prosecutor. Her entire career. On the line. I did the right thing, Victoria said. I saved my sister's life. I know. But the law isn't always about right and wrong. Sometimes it's about procedure and technicalities. Victoria met with Valerie that afternoon, told her everything. This is my fault, Valerie said. She was crying. This is all my fault. I never should have asked you to help. I never should have. Stop, Victoria said. Don't you dare. You didn't do anything wrong. Derek did. Patricia did. They're the criminals. Not you. Not me. But you could lose everything. So what? Victoria's voice was fierce now. So what if I lose my job? So what if I lose my license? You and Emma are alive. You're free. That's what matters. Would I do it again? Knowing what I know now? Knowing I might lose everything? In a heartbeat, Emma walked in. She'd been listening. No, Emma said. Her voice was strong. Stronger than Victoria had ever heard it. No, you're not losing everything. Because we're going to fight back. Emma, you fought for us. Now we fight for you. And that's when everything changed. Emma posted on social media, told the whole story, what Derek had done, what Victoria had done, how her aunt had saved her life. The post went viral, 10,000 shares in the first hour, 20,000 by the end of the day. Women started commenting, hundreds of them, thousands, telling their own stories, abusive husbands, abusive boyfriends, the system that failed them. Thank you for sharing this. My ex put me in the hospital 3 times before I finally left. The police told me there was nothing they could do. I had a restraining order and he violated it 5 times. They never arrested him. I wish I had a sister like Victoria. News outlets picked it up. Local stations. Then national. CNN. NBC. They all wanted interviews. This is our chance, Emma said. This is how we show everyone what really happened. Victoria did the interviews. All of them. Told the story. Showed the evidence. Explained why she did what she did. The system fails domestic violence victims every single day, she told one reporter. Women are told to get restraining orders, but restraining orders are just paper. They don't stop bullets. They don't stop fists. So when my sister came to me beaten and broken, I didn't wait for the system. I became the system. Public opinion shifted. Fast. People started calling the DA's office, demanding they drop the complaint against Victoria, demanding they prosecute Derek to the fullest extent. The state bar was flooded with letters, lawyers, judges, domestic violence advocates, all defending Victoria. She did what needed to be done. She saved lives. 2 weeks later, The DA called Victoria back into his office. "The complaint's been dropped," he said, and the state bar found no merit in the ethical allegations. Victoria felt like she could breathe again. Finally, breathe. And Derek Morrison's lawyer withdrew from the case. He's pleading guilty, taking a deal. 20 years, no parole. 20 years, Victoria repeated. He'll be 75 when he gets out. If he gets out. Prison's not kind to men who hurt women and children. Victoria told Valerie that night. Told her Derek was going away for 20 years. Valerie just stood there, silent. Then she started laughing, crying and laughing at the same time. 20 years, she whispered. 20 years. Emma will be 40. I'll be 73, and he'll still be in prison. He won't be there when Emma gets married, has kids, builds a life. He lost everything, and we got everything back. The sentencing hearing was 2 months later. Victoria, Valerie, and Emma all went, sat in the front row. Derek was brought in, orange jumpsuit, shackles. He looked smaller somehow, diminished. The judge asked if the victims wanted to make a statement. Emma stood up, walked to the podium. "My father spent my entire life teaching me that violence was love, that control was care, that I should be grateful for the prison he built around my mother and me. But my Aunt Victoria taught me something different. She taught me that love is protection, that real strength isn't about overpowering people weaker than you. It's about standing up to people stronger than you. She taught me that I don't have to accept abuse just because it comes from family. So thank you, Your Honor, for giving him 20 years. It's not enough. It'll never be enough. But it's a start." Emma sat down. Valerie squeezed her hand. Then Valerie stood, walked to the podium. "I want to say something to every woman watching this. Every woman who's being hurt right now by someone who claims to love her. You deserve better. You deserve safety. You deserve peace. And if the system won't protect you, find someone who will. A sister, a friend, a neighbor, anyone. Because abusers count on your silence. They count on your fear. They count on you believing their lies. Don't believe them. You are not worthless. You are not nothing. You are not crazy. You are strong. You are brave. And you can survive this. I did. And if I can, so can you." The judge sentenced Derek to 20 years. Patricia to 5 years as an accessory. Brittany got probation and mandatory counseling. As Derek was led away, he looked at Victoria one last time. She looked right back. Didn't flinch. Didn't look away. He was the one who broke eye contact first. Outside the courthouse, reporters were waiting. Cameras, microphones. "Ms. Chen, do you have any regrets about what you did?" Victoria looked at Valerie, at Emma, both of them standing beside her. Safe, free, alive. "No," she said, "not one. Some people say you took the law into your own hands. I didn't take the law into my hands. I used the law. Every recording I made was legal. Every piece of evidence was obtained legally. What I did was protect my family when the system wasn't enough. And I'd do it again, tomorrow, today, right now if I had to. Because here's what people don't understand about domestic violence. It's not a private family matter. It's not just between a husband and wife. It's a crime, a serious crime, and it needs to be treated like one." Another reporter pushed forward. "What would you say to other families dealing with domestic violence?" Victoria looked directly into the camera. "Document everything. Take photos. Save texts. Record conversations if it's legal in your state. Build your case. Reach out to domestic violence organizations. They have resources, shelter beds, legal help. And if you have someone in your life who's being abused, don't look away. Don't tell yourself it's none of your business. Ask them directly. Are you safe? Is he hurting you? Believe them when they tell you the truth. And if you're in a position to help, help. Use your privilege, your resources, your strength. Because the system is broken. It fails victims every day. So we have to be the safety net. We have to catch people when they fall." That night, Victoria's phone wouldn't stop ringing. Interview requests, speaking opportunities, organizations wanting her to tell her story. "You've become a symbol," her lawyer told her, "for women who've survived, for families who've fought back." "I don't want to be a symbol," Victoria said. "I just wanted to save my sister." "You did. And in the process, you showed thousands of other women that they can be saved too." 6 months later, Valerie called Victoria. Her voice was excited. "I have news." "What?" Michael proposed. Victoria felt her throat get tight. "And?" I said yes. "Val, that's... Are you sure? Are you ready?" "I'm terrified," Valerie admitted. "But I'm also happy. Really happy. And I think I'm ready to try again." Michael's not Derek. He's patient. He's kind. He listens. He actually listens when I talk. And he knows. He knows everything about what happened. And he doesn't run. He doesn't try to fix me. He just loves me. Victoria smiled. Smiled so wide her face hurt. "Then I'm happy for you. Will you be my maid of honor? Try and stop me." The wedding was small. Close friends. Family. Emma stood up with her mother. When the officiant asked, "Who gives this woman?" Victoria stood up. "Her daughter and I do. Freely. Joyfully. Because she deserves every happiness." Valerie and Michael said their vows. And when they kissed, Emma leaned over to Victoria. "You did this," Emma whispered. "You gave her this. A second chance." "No," Victoria said. "She gave it to herself. I just made sure she lived long enough to take it." A year after the trial, Victoria got a call. The National Domestic Violence Hotline. They wanted her to train advocates, teach them her techniques for evidence gathering, safety planning, legal strategy. "You've changed the conversation," the director told her. "Women are fighting back now. They're documenting. They're recording. They're building cases. Because you showed them how." Victoria started traveling, speaking at conferences, training advocates, meeting survivors. Every woman had the same story, different details, different names, but the same pattern: isolation, control, violence, threats, and the same system failures. The police didn't help. The judge gave him joint custody even with my hospital records. I had 5 restraining orders. He violated all of them. They never did anything. Victoria listened to every story, took notes, built a database. "We need to change the laws," she told Emma one day. They were having lunch. Emma was in her 2nd year at law school now. "How?" "Make domestic violence a felony on the first offense. Mandatory arrest. Mandatory prosecution. No dropping charges. Make violation of restraining orders carry serious time, not just a slap on the wrist. Fund shelters. Train police. Reform family courts. Change the whole system from the ground up." Emma smiled. "That's a big project. I've got time." And she did. Victoria retired from the DA's office, started a nonprofit, the Valerie Project, named after her sister. They helped women gather evidence, connected them with lawyers, found them safe housing, stood with them in court. "You're doing what you did for me," Valerie said, "but for everyone." "Someone has to," Victoria said. "The system's not going to fix itself." 5 years after Derek went to prison, Emma passed the bar, became a prosecutor, started handling domestic violence cases. "First day," she told Victoria, "I had a woman come in, beaten, scared, just like Mom was. And I thought, what would Aunt Victoria do? What did you do?" I believed her. I documented everything. I built her case. And I told her she was going to be okay. Because she was. Because we're not letting monsters win anymore. Victoria smiled, felt tears in her eyes. "You're going to change lives, kid. I learned from the best." 10 years later, Derek came up for parole. He'd served his minimum sentence. Victoria, Valerie, and Emma all went to the hearing, sat in the front row again. Derek looked old now, gray, broken. "I've changed," he told the parole board. "I've done the work, anger management, and therapy. I understand what I did wrong. I'd like a chance to rebuild my life." The board asked if the victims wanted to speak. Emma stood up. "No," she said. Simple, direct. "He doesn't get a second chance. Not after what he did. My mother almost died. I almost died. And thousands of women die every year from men just like him. Keep him locked up." The board denied parole. 5 more years. Outside, reporters asked Victoria if she thought Derek would ever be released. "Maybe," she said, "in another 15 years, when he's 85, when he's too old to hurt anyone." But by then, my sister will have lived 25 years free. Emma will have built her career, had a family, changed countless lives. And Derek will have spent a quarter century in a cell, thinking about what he lost. That's justice. She looked at the camera. One more time, to everyone watching, everyone who survived, everyone who's still fighting. You're not alone. You're not weak. You're not broken. You're a survivor, and survivors are the strongest people I know. Keep fighting. Keep documenting. Keep reaching out. Because we're changing the system, one case at a time, one woman at a time. And we're not stopping until every single one of you is safe. Victoria put her arm around Valerie. Emma took her mother's other hand, and the three of them walked away from that courthouse together, toward the future, toward hope, toward the lives they'd built from the ashes of what Derek tried to destroy. They'd won, not just the case, not just the trial. They'd won their lives back, and that was everything. But winning their own battle was just the beginning. 2 years after Derek's parole denial, Victoria got a call that would change everything again. A woman's voice, shaking, terrified. "Ms. Chen, my name is Sarah Martinez. I saw your story. I need help. Please. He's going to kill me." Victoria pulled over, put the car in park. "Where are you right now? Are you safe?" "I'm at a gas station." "He thinks I'm getting milk. I have maybe 10 minutes before he calls, before he tracks my phone. Listen to me very carefully. Turn off your location services right now. Do you have somewhere safe you can go?" "I don't know. My family. He's turned them all against me. My friends stopped calling years ago. I have nobody." Victoria's chest tightened. She'd heard this before, too many times. "You have me. Text me the address. I'm coming to get you." "You don't understand. He's a police officer. If I run, if he finds out..." Victoria's blood went cold. A cop. The abuser was a cop. All the more reason to move fast. "Text me. Now." Sarah did. Gas station in Richmond, 40 minutes away. Victoria called Emma. "I need you. Domestic violence victim. Husband's a cop. We're extracting her today." "I'm on my way." They met Sarah at the gas station. She was 32. Bruises on her arms. Split lip. Pregnant. 6 months. "He's been beating me for 5 years, Sarah whispered, "but it got worse when I got pregnant. He said if I ever try to leave, he'll use his badge. He'll take the baby. He'll make sure I never see my child." And I believe him. He has friends, judges, lawyers, the whole system. Emma's jaw clenched. "Not the whole system. We're part of the system too." They took Sarah to a safe house, changed her number, got her a burner phone, started building her case, but this was different. This was a cop, with connections, with power. "We need to be smarter," Victoria told Emma. "One mistake, and he'll bury us." They spent weeks gathering evidence. Sarah had been documenting everything. Photos, text messages, voice recordings of him threatening her. "I've been planning this for a year," Sarah said. "Ever since I saw your interview, I knew I had to get out before the baby came." But here's what they didn't know. What Sarah's husband, Mark Martinez, didn't know. His partner had been watching, had seen the bruises on Sarah, had heard Mark bragging about keeping his wife in line. And his partner was done staying silent. Officer James Chen, no relation to Victoria, called her directly. "Ms. Chen, my name's James. I work with Mark Martinez, and I need to tell you something." Victoria's heart was pounding. "I'm listening." "He's planning something. I heard him talking to his buddies. They're going to file a false report. Say Sarah's an unfit mother, drug addict, mentally unstable. They got a judge on their side. Judge Thompson. He owes Mark favors. They're going to take that baby the minute it's born." Victoria felt sick. "When?" "Soon. She's due in 6 weeks. They're already preparing the paperwork." "Why are you telling me this?" "Because I became a cop to help people, not to watch them get destroyed. My sister was killed by her husband, cop just like us. His buddies covered it up. I won't let that happen to Sarah." Victoria called an emergency meeting. Her, Emma, Sarah, Officer James, and Valerie. "We need to go on a fence," Victoria said, "before Mark makes his move." "How?" Sarah asked. Her hand was on her belly. protective. He has all the power. No, Emma said. He has some power, but we have the truth, and we have something he doesn't. What? Media attention. Emma made a call to a reporter she knew. Christina Alvarez, investigative journalist, had done a series on police domestic violence. You got a story? Christina asked. Do I ever? They met the next day. Christina listened to everything. Sarah's story. The recordings. Officer James's testimony. This is explosive, Christina said, but it's also dangerous. Mark Martinez has friends in high places. Can you run it? Emma asked. Can I? This is Pulitzer material, but Sarah, you need to understand. Once this goes public, there's no going back. He'll come at you with everything. He's already coming at me, Sarah said. Her voice was steady now, strong. At least this way, everyone will know the truth. The story ran 3 days later. Front page, local news picked it up, then national. Police officer accused of years of domestic violence. Wife says, department covered it up. Mark Martinez's world exploded. Internal Affairs opened an investigation. The DA's office launched a criminal inquiry. Other women started coming forward. Mark had dated half a dozen women before Sarah. All of them had stories. All of them had been too scared to speak up. Until now. He hit me and then arrested me for assaulting him, one woman said. He threatened to plant drugs in my car if I left him. Another said, he told me no one would believe me because he was a hero, a cop. The police chief held a press conference, suspended Mark without pay, promised a full investigation, but Mark wasn't going down without a fight. He filed for emergency custody, claimed Sarah was mentally unstable, dangerous, a threat to their unborn child. The hearing was set for 2 weeks before Sarah's due date. He's going to try to take my baby, Sarah sobbed. He's going to use the system to take my baby. No, Victoria said. He's not, because we're going to destroy him. The hearing was packed. Media, supporters, domestic violence advocates, and Mark Martinez, in his dress uniform, playing the hero. Your Honor, Mark's attorney began, my client is a decorated police officer. 15 years of service, numerous commendations, a pillar of the community. His wife, unfortunately, has a history of mental instability. She's made false allegations, attempted to destroy his reputation. For the safety of their unborn child, we're asking for full custody and supervised visitation only. Then it was Emma's turn. She stood up, walked to the podium. Your Honor, I'd like to enter into evidence these photographs. She pulled out 30 photos. Sarah's face, her arms, her back. Years of abuse documented in brutal detail. I'd also like to play these audio recordings. Mark's voice came through the speakers, clear as day. You tell anyone and I'll kill you. I'm a cop. I know how to make it look like an accident. You think anyone will believe you over me? I'm a hero. You're nothing. Try to take my kid and I'll bury you. I got judges. I got lawyers. I got friends who owe me. The courtroom went silent. And finally, Emma said, I'd like to call Officer James Chin to the stand. James testified for an hour. Everything he'd seen, everything he'd heard, how Mark bragged about controlling Sarah, how he laughed about her being too scared to leave. He said, and I quote, she knows what happens to cops' wives who run. They don't get far. The judge looked at Mark. Her face was stone. Mr. Martinez, based on this evidence, I'm denying your request for custody. I'm granting full custody to Ms. Martinez with 0 visitation rights for you. Furthermore, I'm issuing a restraining order, 500 feet, and I'm referring this case to the district attorney for criminal prosecution. Mark stood up. His face was red, veins popping in his neck. This is bullshit. This is a setup. She's lying. They're all lying. Mr. Martinez, sit down or I'll hold you in contempt. You can't do this. I'm a cop. 2 bailiffs grabbed him, dragged him out. He was screaming the whole way. I'll kill you. You hear me? I'll kill all of you. That threat got him arrested on the spot, threatening a judge, threatening witnesses. Combined with the domestic violence evidence, he was held without bail. Sarah broke down crying. It's over. It's really over. Not yet, Victoria said. Now comes the trial. Mark's trial was 6 months later, after Sarah gave birth to a healthy baby girl, named her Victoria, after the woman who saved her life. The trial lasted 3 weeks. Prosecution presented everything: photos, recordings, testimony from Sarah, from Officer James, from Mark's ex-girlfriends. The defense tried everything: character witnesses, other cops vouching for Mark, claims that Sarah was lying, that she'd manipulated the evidence, but the jury saw through it, saw the pattern, the control, the violence, the abuse of power. Guilty on all counts: assault, battery, stalking, criminal threats. 25 years. As Mark was led away, he looked at Sarah, at Victoria, at Emma. "This isn't over," he mouthed. But it was. It really was. Sarah's case opened a floodgate. Women across the country started coming forward: police officers' wives, firefighters' wives, anyone married to someone in power who thought they were untouchable. The Valerie Project expanded. Opened offices in 10 cities, hired more lawyers, more advocates, more investigators. "We're changing the system," Emma told Victoria one day, "one case at a time." "It's not enough," Victoria said. "We need legislation." So they went to Sacramento, testified before the state legislature, pushed for new laws, mandatory arrest for domestic violence, no exceptions, not even for cops, felony charges on the first offense, not misdemeanor, automatic termination for law enforcement convicted of domestic violence, funding for shelters, training for judges, reform of family courts. The Valerie Act passed 2 years later, named after Victoria's sister, the woman who survived 12 years of hell. "This is for every woman who couldn't fight back," Valerie said at the signing ceremony. Her voice was shaking but strong. "Every woman who was told the system couldn't help her. Every woman who died because we failed to protect her. This law won't save everyone, but it'll save some, and that's a start." Governor signed it. Effective immediately. Within a year, arrest rates for domestic violence doubled. Convictions tripled. Women were finally being heard. But the backlash was real. Death threats, harassment, men's rights groups protesting outside their offices. "You're destroying families," one protester screamed at Victoria. "You're turning women against their husbands." "No," Victoria said, calm. "I'm protecting families from abuse. There's a difference. Not all men. You're right, not all men, but enough men that we need these laws. Enough men that 3 women a day are killed by intimate partners in this country. When that number hits 0, then we can talk about whether these laws are necessary." Emma started getting threats too. Messages on social media. Someone left a dead rat on her doorstep. Spray-painted "bitch" on her car. "This is what happens when you challenge the system," Victoria told her. "They try to scare you into silence." "It's working," Emma admitted. "I'm scared." "Good. Being scared means you're smart, but don't let fear stop you. Let it fuel you." One night, someone tried to break into Emma's apartment. She woke up to her alarm, screaming, called 911. Police arrived in minutes. They caught him. 23 years old. His father was in prison for domestic violence thanks to a case Emma prosecuted. "She destroyed my family," the kid told police. "She put my dad away. She deserves to pay." Emma testified at his trial for attempted burglary, for stalking, for criminal threats. "I'm not sorry for prosecuting your father," she told him. "He beat your mother for 15 years, put her in the hospital twice. You think that's family? You think that's love? Your mother is free now, safe now, living her life without fear. If you call that destroying a family, then yeah, I destroyed it, and I'd do it again." He got 5 years, mandatory counseling, but Emma moved anyway. New apartment, security system, panic buttons, changed her routine. "This is the cost," she told Victoria. "This is what it takes to fight back." "I know," Victoria said, "and I'm sorry you have to pay it." "Don't be. I knew what I was signing up for, just like you did." 10 years after Victoria swapped places with Valerie, they stood together at a conference. National Domestic Violence Coalition. 1,000 people in the audience. Victoria told the story. All of it. The swap. The evidence gathering. The confrontation. The trial. "People ask me if I regret it," Victoria said. "If I regret crossing ethical lines, impersonating my sister, becoming essentially a vigilante. And my answer is always the same. No, not for 1 second. Because the system failed my sister for 12 years. The police came. They took reports. They did nothing. Restraining orders are paper. They don't stop fists. They don't stop bullets. So I became the system. I became her protection. I became her justice. Was it legal? Mostly. Was it right? Absolutely. Because at the end of the day, what matters more? Following every technical rule or saving someone's life? The audience stood up, applauding, some crying, all of them understanding. After the speech, women lined up, wanting to share their stories, wanting advice, wanting hope. My husband broke my arm. Police said it was an accident. I have 3 restraining orders. He's violated all of them. They never do anything. My kids watched him choke me. CPS said there wasn't enough evidence to remove them. Victoria listened to every story, took every name, made every promise. We'll help you. All of you. That's what the Valerie Project is for. One woman stayed until the end, older, probably 70. She walked up to Victoria with tears streaming down her face. "Thank you," she whispered. "My daughter was killed by her husband 20 years ago, shot her in front of their kids, got out in 10 years for good behavior. I wish someone like you had been there for her. Someone who would have fought, who would have broken the rules to save her life. Your sister's lucky. She has you." Victoria's throat got tight. "I'm sorry about your daughter." "Don't be sorry. Just keep fighting. Keep breaking rules. Keep saving lives. Because the system is broken, and people like you are the only ones who can fix it." That night, Victoria couldn't sleep. She kept thinking about that woman, about her daughter, about all the women who didn't survive, all the sisters who weren't prosecutors, who didn't know how to gather evidence, who didn't have someone willing to break rules to save them. She called Valerie, 3 in the morning. "I can't save them all," Victoria said. Her voice was breaking. "There are too many women dying, too many kids watching their mothers get beaten, and I can't save them all." "No," Valerie said, gentle. "You can't. But you saved me. You saved Emma. You saved Sarah. You saved thousands of women through the Valerie Project. That's not saving them all, but it's something. It's more than nothing. And every woman you save, she saves others. Sarah's a counselor now, working with abuse survivors. She's saving lives too. Emma's prosecuting abusers, putting them in prison, protecting families. The ripple effect, Victoria, you created a ripple effect." Victoria smiled through tears. "When did you get so wise?" "I learned from my sister, the one who loved me enough to risk everything, the one who showed me that survivors can become warriors. I love you, Val. I love you too." The next morning, Victoria got a call. Young woman, 24. Boyfriend had put her in the hospital. "I saw your speech yesterday," the woman said. "You said you'd help. Can you really? Can you help me?" Victoria smiled. Yeah, I can. Tell me where you are." And she did. She helped that woman, and the next one, and the next one, because that's what survivors do. They survive. They fight. They save others. Victoria was 58 when she swapped places with Valerie. She was 70 now, still fighting, still helping, still saving lives. Emma was 35, lead prosecutor for domestic violence in Alameda County, had put away hundreds of abusers. Valerie was 70, still married to Michael, still teaching, still showing her students what strength looks like. And the Valerie Project had helped over 10,000 women escape abuse, 10,000 lives saved, 10,000 families protected. "We changed the world," Emma said one day. 3 women. "We actually changed the world." "Not just 3 women," Victoria corrected. "Thousands. Every survivor who spoke up, every advocate who fought, every person who refused to stay silent. We just started it." Victoria thought about Derek sometimes. Still in prison. Would be for another 5 years. Then he'd be old, broken, powerless. He'd lost everything. His wife, his daughter, his freedom, his power. And Valerie had gained everything. Her life, her freedom, her joy. That was justice. Real justice. People asked Victoria all the time, would you do it again? Would you risk your career, your license, your life? And her answer never changed. In a heartbeat. Because some things are worth the risk. Some people are worth saving. And some rules are worth breaking. To everyone watching this, Victoria said into the camera. One last interview. Everyone who's survived, everyone who's still fighting, everyone who's scared. You are not alone. You are not weak. You are not broken. You are a survivor. And survivors are the strongest people I know. Fight back. Document everything. Reach out. Build your case. Find your people. And if the system fails you, find someone who won't. A sister, a friend, a stranger who cares. Because you deserve to live. You deserve to be safe. You deserve to be free. And we'll fight for you, all of us, until every single one of you is safe. Victoria looked at Valerie, at Emma, both of them beside her. 3 generations of strength, of survival, of refusing to be victims. This is Victoria Chin, signing off. Stay safe, stay strong, and never, ever give up. The camera stopped, but the fight didn't. It never would. Because as long as women were being hurt, there would be warriors fighting for them, and Victoria Chin would always be one of them. But the fight wasn't over. Not really. Not while women were still dying. 3 months after that final interview, Victoria got a call that brought everything full circle. A young prosecutor. Name was Jennifer Park. 30 years old. Worked in Santa Clara County. Miss Chin, I need your help. I have a case, and I don't know what to do. Tell me. The victim's name is Maria Santos. Her husband's been beating her for 8 years. She finally got the courage to leave, filed for divorce, got a restraining order. And the judge gave him joint custody, 50-50, said there wasn't enough evidence of abuse to justify keeping him away from the kids. Victoria's hand tightened on the phone. This was why they kept fighting, because the system was still broken. What evidence do you have? Medical records, photos, her testimony. But the defense attorney tore her apart on the stand, made her look unstable, emotional, said she was lying to get full custody. And the judge bought it? Hook, line, and sinker. Maria's terrified. She says if she has to hand her kids over to him, he'll kill her during the exchange. He's already threatened it. Victoria closed her eyes, saw Valerie's face that day in her office. Beaten, broken, terrified. I'm coming down there. Don't do anything until I get there. She drove to Santa Clara, met Jennifer at a coffee shop. The younger prosecutor looked exhausted, defeated. I don't know what to do, Jennifer said. I followed the rules. I presented the evidence. And I still lost. That's because the rules are designed to protect abusers, Victoria said, not victims. So what do? We change the rules. But here's what Victoria didn't know. What was about to make this case different from every other case? Maria's husband was connected. His brother was a state senator. His father was a retired judge. They had money, power, influence. They're untouchable, Jennifer said. I tried to appeal. My boss shut me down. Said I was making the office look bad. Told me to drop it. Are you going to? Jennifer looked at Victoria. Really looked at her. You didn't drop it. When your sister needed you, you didn't follow the rules. You broke them. Should I do the same? Victoria was quiet for a long moment. This was it. This was the moment. Was she going to tell this young prosecutor to break the law? To risk her career? To become what Victoria had become? I can't tell you what to do, Victoria finally said, but I can tell you what I would do. What? I'd fight with everything I had, rules or no rules, career or no career, because that woman's life is worth more than any job. Those kids are worth more than any rule. Jennifer nodded slowly. Then I need you to teach me everything you did, every technique, every strategy. You sure? Once you go down this road, there's no coming back. I'm sure. They spent the next 3 days planning. Victoria taught Jennifer everything. How to gather evidence without warrants. How to install hidden cameras legally. How to document abuse in ways that couldn't be challenged in court. The key is making them think they're winning, Victoria said. Make them comfortable. Make them sloppy. Then you have them. Jennifer met with Maria, explained the plan. You want me to go back? Maria's voice was shaking. You want me to go back to him? Not you, Jennifer said. Me. Victoria had taught her well. The swap technique. Jennifer looked nothing like Maria, but with makeup, with the right clothes, with Maria's mannerisms. I can pass, Jennifer said. Long enough to get what we need. But Maria shook her head. No, I can't ask you to do that. It's too dangerous. You're not asking. I'm offering. Why? Why would you risk this for me? You don't even know me. Jennifer looked at Victoria, then back at Maria. Because someone taught me that some things are worth the risk, and you're one of them. The plan was simpler than Victoria's had been. Jennifer would go to one custody exchange, wearing a wire, carrying a hidden camera, get Carlos Santos on record threatening Maria, threatening the kids, showing his true face. One exchange, Jennifer said. That's all I need. The exchange was set for Saturday. Public parking lot, noon, lots of witnesses. Carlos showed up in his BMW, sunglasses, expensive suit, looking like a successful businessman, not a man who put his wife in the hospital 3 times. Jennifer walked up with Maria's kids, 7 and 9 years old, both scared, both clinging to her. You're not Maria, Carlos said immediately. His eyes narrowed. Jennifer's heart stopped. The plan was falling apart before it even started. I'm her sister, Jennifer said, thinking fast. She's sick. Asked me to bring the kids. I didn't know she had a sister. Well, now you do. Carlos smiled, but it wasn't a nice smile. Where is she really? Maria doesn't get sick. She's too scared to miss an exchange. She has the flu. She'll pick them up Sunday. No. Carlos stepped closer, aggressive. You tell Maria if she's not here in 10 minutes, I'm calling the police. Violation of the custody order. She's sick. I don't care if she's dying. She shows up, or I make sure she never sees these kids again. Jennifer's hand moved to her phone, recording, getting every word. You can't keep her from her kids. Can't I? Carlos laughed. My brother's a state senator. My father's a judge. I can do whatever I want. In fact, tell Maria something for me. Tell her if she keeps fighting this, accidents happen. She could slip, fall down some stairs, hit her head. And then who gets the kids? Full custody to me. You're threatening her. I'm stating facts. Maria's unstable. Everyone knows it. The judge knows it. If something happened to her, well, these kids would need their father. Jennifer looked at the kids. Both of them were crying now, terrified. Say goodbye to your mother's sister, Carlos told them. You won't be seeing her again. He grabbed their hands, pulled them to his car. Rough, too rough. The older kid stumbled, started crying harder. Shut up, Carlos hissed. Shut up, or I'll give you something to cry about. He shoved the kid into the car, then turned back to Jennifer. You tell Maria I'm watching. I know where she works, where she lives, where she goes to church. There's nowhere she can hide from me. And you, he stepped closer, right in Jennifer's face. You ever show up again? I'll make sure you regret it. I got friends who make problems disappear. Jennifer didn't back down, just looked at him. Is that a threat? It's a promise. He got in his car, drove away with the kids. Jennifer stood there shaking, but smiling. She had it, all of it. Threats, intimidation, abuse of the kids, all on video, all on audio. She met Victoria an hour later, showed her the recordings. This is it, Victoria said. This is what we need. They filed an emergency motion, attached the video, the audio, testimony from Jennifer about what she witnessed. The judge called a hearing for Monday morning. Carlos showed up with 3 lawyers, his brother the senator, his father the retired judge, all of them confident, all of them sure they'd win. Your Honor, Carlos's lead attorney began, this is entrapment. Ms. Park impersonated Maria Santos. Any evidence gathered is inadmissible. She didn't impersonate anyone, Jennifer interrupted. I identified myself as Maria's sister. Carlos Santos made assumptions. Assumptions based on your deliberate deception? No, the judge said. She'd been watching the video, listening to the audio, and her face was hard. What I see here is a man threatening violence, threatening to kill his ex-wife, abusing his children. Your Honor, my client was emotional. Your client said, and I quote, accidents happen. She could fall down some stairs. That's not emotion. That's a threat. Carlos stood up. Your Honor, this is ridiculous. I would never hurt my children. Sit down, Mr. Santos. But sit down. Carlos sat. but his face was red, veins popping. Based on this evidence, the judge continued, I'm reversing my previous custody order. Full custody to Maria Santos. Zero visitation for Carlos Santos pending a criminal investigation. Furthermore, I'm referring this matter to the district attorney for criminal charges, terrorist threats, child endangerment, violation of protective order. Your Honor, you can't, the lead attorney started. I can and I am. This man is a danger to his children and his ex-wife, and I will not send those children into danger. My brother's a state senator, Carlos started. I don't care if your brother's the governor. You threatened to kill your ex-wife on camera. You grabbed your children roughly enough to make them cry. You endangered them. Get him out of my courtroom. Security escorted Carlos out. He was screaming the whole way. I'll appeal this. I'll have your job. My family. The doors closed. Silence. Maria broke down, crying. Is it real? Is it really over? It's really over, Jennifer said. But it wasn't. Not quite. Because Carlos's family wasn't done. His brother, the senator, held a press conference, claimed Jennifer had entrapped Carlos, that the video was edited, that this was a conspiracy against their family. We're filing a complaint with the state bar, the senator said. Ms. Park's actions were unethical, possibly criminal. She needs to be disbarred. The media picked it up. Some outlets sided with the senator, called Jennifer a rogue prosecutor, said she'd gone too far. Others sided with Maria, with Jennifer, with justice. This is what happens when you fight back, Victoria told Jennifer. They try to destroy you. Will it work? Will they disbar me? Maybe. Probably not. But they'll try. Jennifer's hands were shaking. I did the right thing. I know I did. Then stand by it. Don't apologize. Don't back down. You saved that woman's life. You saved those kids. That's all that matters. The state bar investigation took 6 months. Jennifer testified. Victoria testified. Maria testified. I would be dead without Ms. Park, Maria said. She risked her career, her freedom, everything, to save me. If that's unethical, then ethics are broken. The state bar ultimately declined to pursue charges, issued a formal reprimand, told Jennifer not to do it again. But between you and me, the investigator told her privately, you did the right thing. Just don't make it a habit. Carlos was convicted of terrorist threats, child endangerment, got 8 years. His family cut him off. The senator issued a statement, distanced himself, claimed he'd been misled about the facts. They protected him until they couldn't anymore, Emma said. She'd flown down to support Jennifer. Then they threw him away like garbage. That's what happens to abusers when they can't hide anymore, Victoria said. Their protectors abandoned them. Jennifer became a hero. Domestic violence advocates praised her. Other prosecutors started using her techniques. Maria's case became a blueprint. You started a movement, Victoria told her. Again, I learned from you. No, you learned from Valerie, from Emma, from every woman who fought back, who refused to be a victim. You just carried it forward. And that's when Victoria realized this was the legacy, not the cases she'd won, not the laws she'd changed, but the people she'd inspired, the prosecutors and advocates and survivors who took what she'd done and made it their own. Emma was training prosecutors across the country now, teaching them how to handle domestic violence cases, how to support victims, how to break through the system when the system failed. Jennifer started a program in Santa Clara, partnered with the Valerie Project, helping women escape, building cases, fighting back. Sarah Martinez was running support groups, hundreds of women, all of them survivors, all of them warriors. We're an army now, Sarah told Victoria, an army of survivors, and we're not stopping. Victoria was 73 now, tired, ready to rest, but not quite yet. One more thing. She got Emma and Valerie together, the 3 of them, one last time. I need to tell you something, Victoria said. I'm dying. Emma gasped. Valerie went white. It's cancer, stage 4. They gave me 6 months, maybe a year. No, Emma whispered. No, you can't. It's okay, Victoria said. Her voice was calm. I've had a good life, A full life. I saved my sister. I helped thousands of women. I changed laws. I built a movement. That's more than most people get. What do you need? Valerie asked, tears streaming down her face. What can we do? Finish the work. Keep fighting. Keep saving lives. The Valerie Project needs to continue. The training programs, the legal advocacy, all of it. Promise me. We promise, Emma said. I promise. We'll keep fighting. Victoria smiled. Good. That's all I need to hear. She died 8 months later, surrounded by family. Valerie holding one hand, Emma holding the other. Her last words were, keep fighting, for all of them. The funeral was packed. Thousands of people. Survivors Victoria had helped. Prosecutors she'd trained. Advocates she'd inspired. One by one, they stood up, told their stories, how Victoria had saved them, changed them, given them hope. She taught me I was worth saving, one woman said. She showed me that fighting back was possible, another said. She gave me my life back, Maria Santos said. Her kids beside her, safe, free. Emma gave the eulogy. My aunt didn't just save lives. She taught us how to save ourselves, how to stand up, how to fight back, how to refuse to be victims. And she showed us that sometimes breaking the rules is the most ethical thing you can do. When the system fails, when people are dying, rules don't matter. Lives matter. Victoria Chin broke rules, bent laws, crossed lines. And because she did, thousands of women are alive today. Thousands of children grew up safe. That's her legacy. Not the laws she passed, not the cases she won, but the lives she saved and the warriors she created. We're all Victoria Chin now. Everyone in this room, everyone watching, everyone who refuses to stay silent when someone's being hurt. We're all her, fighting her fight, carrying her torch. And we won't stop until every single woman is safe, until every abuser is held accountable, until domestic violence is finally, truly unacceptable. After the funeral, Valerie stood at Victoria's grave, just stood there, crying. Thank you, she whispered. Thank you for saving me, for showing me I was worth saving, for giving me my life back. I'll never stop being grateful, never stop missing you, never stop fighting. I love you, sis. Emma came up behind her, put an arm around her mother. She knew, she always knew. I know. They stood there together, mother and daughter, survivor and warrior, both of them shaped by Victoria's love, her courage, her refusal to accept injustice. The Valerie Project continued, grew, expanded to all 50 states, helped over 100,000 women in the next 10 years. The Valerie Act was adopted by 12 states, became federal law 5 years after Victoria died. Emma became a judge, used her power to protect victims, to hold abusers accountable, to change the system from within. And Valerie kept teaching, kept showing her students what strength looked like, what survival looked like, what love looked like, because that was Victoria's real legacy. Not laws or organizations or numbers, but people, changed people, empowered people, people who refused to be victims. 20 years after Victoria died, Emma stood in front of a room full of new prosecutors. First day of training. I want to tell you a story, she said, about my aunt, about the day she swapped places with my mother and took on an entire family of abusers. She told them everything. The swap, the evidence, the confrontation, the cost, the victory. Victoria Chin taught me that justice isn't always legal, that sometimes you have to break rules to save lives, that the most important law is the law of human decency. And she taught me that one person can make a difference, one person standing up, fighting back, refusing to accept the unacceptable. You're all that person now, every one of you, every case you take, every victim you help, every abuser you hold accountable. You're Victoria Chin, fighting her fight, carrying her legacy. So go out there, break rules when you need to, cross lines when you must, save lives however you can. Because that's what she'd do, that's what she did, and that's what we're going to keep doing until every single woman is safe. The prosecutors stood up, applauding, understanding, ready. And somewhere, Victoria was smiling, because the fight wasn't over, would never be over, but it would continue. In capable hands, in fierce hearts, in people who refused to let monsters win. She'd started a ripple, and that ripple had become a a wave that would keep crashing against injustice until justice finally won. That was her legacy. That was her gift. That was her life's work. And it would live on long after she was gone. In every woman saved, every abuser held accountable, every child who grew up without violence, every person who stood up and said, "Not anymore, never again." Victoria Chin swapped places with her sister and changed the world, not because she was special, not because she was fearless, but because she loved her sister enough to risk everything. And that love created a movement, a revolution, a fundamental shift in how we treat domestic violence. She proved that one person can make a difference, that breaking rules can save lives, that love is stronger than violence, that justice is worth fighting for, and that survivors can become warriors. That's the story. That's the truth. That's the legacy of Victoria Chin, the woman who refused to let her sister die and ended up saving thousands. This is Victoria Chin's story, and it will never end because we won't let it. Because we're all Victoria now. Every single one of us who refuses to stay silent, who stands up, who fights back, who saves lives, who believes that love is stronger than hate, and that justice will always, always win.